Capricorn, hello. So this is your reading for 18 till 25 November. It sort of focuses on love. Well, it focuses on love. And so Sun, Moon, Rising and Ascending. And, you know, if there's specific communication problems that you have, as I always recommend, you can go and have a look at your Mercury. And, you know, anything else, like if this doesn't resonate with you, the specific reading, you can also go look at where your Venus is, which is your love. And if you're not familiar with those placements, there's a link down below in the description that says free natal chart that can actually show to you where those placements are within your chart. All right. For those that always support me, thank you very much. Welcome back. If you're new here, brand new, welcome. My name is Adrian. I'm an intuitive healer. I practice holistic wellness. I'm a spiritual regression hypnosis practitioner. And my really beautiful, really fly. I'm just going to move this just a little bit. Sorry about that. My really beautiful thumbnails are made by my best friend. There's a link down below in the description for her, and it says AC Digital Marketing Solutions. You may also hear some sort of blender or something in the back. It is my flatmate and I, my best friend and I, we're sharing an apartment, and it's one of our mutual friends' birthday tomorrow. So she is making a cake because, you know, one's got to have cake, and I actually need to have a haircut, but I feel the cake is more important. So, all right, let's get started. Let's see what we got. All right, see what we have. We're going to look at for those of you that are interested, I'm using the MUSE Tarot by, what is her name? Let's see. Chris Ann also created the Lightseers Tarot. Alright, so we're looking at where you currently are, how did you get there, and what's coming towards you. We're looking at the overall energy. A lot of cards fell out there. I'm going to take the one on top that came out, which is the Knight of Voices for your recent past, which is the Knight of Swords. Okay? So some sort of decision that was made there, some sort of definitive decision that was made there. And let's see what else we got for you. So Knight of Voices, Knight of Swords is your... Okay, that's a whole handful of cards there. That is not going to work. That's too many. They also went in reverse. Okay, let's just put it right. Give it a good oops. And let's see what we have. Oh, okay. I'm just going to take this. So we've got the Justice card for the current energy where you are. And then coming towards you is the Magician. And I'm going to take, what is these two cards? I'm going to take this for the overall energy, which is the Page of Emotions and the Knight of Materials. All right. So this is really very much about your inner world. Materials being Pentacles. Okay. Radio. Just want to check something very quickly. Okay. All right, so let's see what we have. Obviously, emotions is sort of that inner expression of who we are. So, because when you look at materials, which is Pentacles, where you currently are, which is also that Knight. Remember in the recent past we had the Knight of Voices, which is the Knight of Swords. So this is sort of where we make that decision sometimes, you know, of what it is that we want to have, what it is that we want to experience, where it is that we want to go. So at some point in the past, you made a very sort of definitive decision about where it is, or more like how it is that you'd like to experience love, how it is that you'd like it to feel, how you would like to fit into it, into every moment of your life. And I feel that you've given this a lot of thought. You know, it wasn't just sort of, you know, whether you were with somebody at the time or you were not with someone at the time. It's not that you know, sometimes we just say, I just want to be happy. You know, I just want to find someone. I just want to be happy with someone. I don't really sense that this is the kind of, you know, the kind of thinking pattern that took place over here. This was a much more detailed sort of thinking pattern, you know, how I'd like to feel with this person, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was that sort of really integral sort of like in-depth thinking that was taking place over there. Okay. So, and you know what is really amazing, and I'm quite happy to actually see this with the Justice card in your current energy, because let me just say this first. Some of the people in my life that I love the most, including my nephew, they are Capricorn. And Capricorn's got a, typical Capricorn sort of energy, especially like Capricorn Sun, or maybe you got Capricorn Moon, even Rising, anything Capricorn really. You've got a very sort of my way or the highway kind of energy there sometimes. Capricorns themselves may disagree with this, but you're generally not too excited about the idea of over the top sort of compromise. And what I like about this current energy situation where you currently are, this is about realizing that maybe maybe I should, if this is what I want to have, if this is what I want to experience in my life, love. And when I say love, I'm talking about your everyday, because love is not an isolated thing. Love is such a personal thing in our life that it affects every single moment of our life as we go throughout our days, which is what obviously makes it such an important thing. Many of you have realized that in order for you to experience what it is you'd like to experience, it is time to release a certain version of yourself. All right, because I know often in life we want somebody else to change. We want them to change and them to be different, and if they can do this and they can do that. But this is about realizing that it's sort of like a perfect plan. It could be quite a bit of frustration that went involved with this, getting to where you are right now. So you kind of came up with a perfect plan, and there might have been some frustration, sort of like to get this plan going. But then we sometimes realize that the one that actually is sort of preventing the plan from flowing as smoothly as you'd like it to flow is not them after all. It's actually sort of us. And it can be quite a difficult sort of thing to accept sometimes. However, I do feel you're releasing with a lot of peace, a lot of understanding, a lot of wisdom. A lot of enlightenment, actually, really, which is incredible. You kind of might be taking people's mind away, surprising them a little bit, especially for those of you who are involved with somebody at the moment. You are very much evolving, I feel there's very much a coming out of that sort of, a lot of sort of like not so well-serving patterns that people may have spoken about before, and you were saying to them, what patterns are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, I'm perfect, I'm a Capricorn, what are you talking about? But this is where, you're in the process where you're actually beginning to see, and this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful period in the world to be going through, where we begin to realize what are the things that we personally are doing that is sort of like preventing the flow that we would like to experience. So this is actually going to that next step, which is actually really incredible. It is about sort of knowing that you are same as everybody else on this planet, a work in progress. Okay, and that coming towards you is the Magician. And I mean, who doesn't want to have the Magician for love? Because the Magician is about new starts and new beginnings, and it's also that wonderful energy where because let me put it like this, and this is going to affect all areas of your life, not just only love, which is really amazing, because this is where we realize that the sort of version of life that we are, the sort of operational kind of system that we have, the way that we go about our everyday lives and all those type of things, that maybe this version is a little bit outdated. So a lot of you, for example, at this particular point in time, you may find that really incredible sort of like synchronicities are taking place. Your dreams may be absolutely amazing. Things are just sort of happening. Things are just sort of flowing. But it's as a result of you, in a sense, sort of like, kind of getting this balance back in your life. And that in itself places you in that beautiful, balanced alignment, stability, where you can sort of create from your life whatever you want to create. So especially for those of you that are looking at maybe, first of all, sorry, I see relationships here, current relationships that have problems. I see them really, really wonderfully sort of evening out. because in some ways you're now beginning to not only realize but also shoulder that responsibility that I was the one that helped to co-create this this situation. So yeah, it may be them, and they may be a lot at fault, but it's also me, and I may be a lot at fault as well. And it's an accepting that, because remember, life is a mirror reflection of who we are. What happened, what's going on inside, reflects in our outside world. And since you are, in a sense, sort of upgrading yourself, it's like looking in the mirror, and not seeing yourself. You can see yourself, but you're not that well lit. And then maybe somebody switches on the light, or there's like some lights around the mirror or whatever, somebody opens a curtain and you get to have a better view of what's going on. So that's sort of like what's happening in your life. The curtain's getting open, you're getting a better view, and you're getting more clarity about what's going on. And it's just like sort of like your operational systems and the way that you make decisions is just a lot more enlightened. It's, to call a spade, it's wiser. You are more clever. Okay. And then with your overall energy, you've got a Knight of Materials, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Emotions, which is, of course, sort of goes with that. For those of you that are familiar with the 7 main chakras, it's very much a sort of sacral chakra area. That's, obviously you've got your heart center, but this is more like those sort of like foundational sort of emotions that we all have within us. And how you sometimes feel that I feel for many of you might have had a lot of concerns. There's a lot of freedom taking place over here. There's a lot of release from the past. There's a lot of forgiveness. There's a lot of sort of grudges that might have been held that is being let go of. And it's almost like your overall health in all areas of your life is just positively affected by this. Because there's not that sort of undercurrent of almost like, wanting to get even going on. This is about forgiveness and release, which is fantastic. All right. It's about letting the past go and looking towards the future, starting over, starting new, and accepting once again how you may have contributed to the situation that happened, whatever that may be. And, even though we're focusing on love in this particular reading, I really sense it positively affecting all areas of your life, which is, I'm so happy to see that. Okay. So for many of you, you may have just met someone and, they sort of caught you a little unawares, because with, sometimes you can kind of very much get your way. This person was like, screw it, I'm not going to do that. And you're like, what do you mean you're not going to do that? And so you really have to start looking at yourself. So let's clarify the overall energy. 2 cards came out there. Ace of, well, as this one says, Marijuana, because it's created by this lady that does almost like this sort of African theme, and it says love though, but this is Ace of Cups, and it says love for the overall energy. And then we've got the Temperance card over there. And there's also, Temperance is obviously very much about taking control of a situation. But this is a wonderful, positive way of taking control of a situation, because it's taking control of a situation in such a way that you... it's wonderful to work with the universe and with the energies and manifestation and vision boards and whatever. But when we understand that we can create anything from within who we are, and that what happens inside determines the relationship that we have with, sort of what you would call the law of attraction, which is all really just, you are an expression of everything, and everything's part of you, and you're part of everything. And it's understanding your place within life and what you can do. So you're getting a point of incredible clarity. You're getting to see what it is you can do. And it's so amazing. It's, in a sense, it's almost like you're really getting to run the show in so many ways, but you're getting to run it in such a way that you have to do less. You don't have to sort of like micromanage as you might have had to do before. And especially for those of you that are finding new love, this is so amazing. This is so beautiful. This is so incredible, because it's balanced. It's a flow. It's not over the top, It is just, it gives you a nice place to breathe within your life. I'm going to draw you another card for that. Such a wonderful flow, such a wonderful influx of energy coming into your life. And of course, one of the most wonderful things that we can normally see, within our lives as human beings is when, you know, love is working out really, really well. And there's a beautiful influx of love happening here for you. Compassion. So whereas you got the Queen, sorry, the Ace of Cups, you're also getting the Queen of Cups. So this is a wonderful space also where you can work on situations. Maybe something seemed very, very hopeless. It seemed like you know, that you had no choice but to sort of, you know, let the ship sail, let the situation go. But you are getting clarity, you know, about what it is that needs to be done. And a lot of you, I feel you are doing that inner sort of work. You are placing that sort of flashlight on yourself in a way that it needs to be done without going into those darker sort of avenues, you know. So even though you're doing a lot of inner work and inner reflection and all those type of things, it's not really that sort of inner work where you know, where you do so much on yourself because you feel that everything is your fault. This is all about balance. This is all about realizing what it is. Even there with the Justice card, with the Queen of you know, with the Queen of Cups, with the Temperance card, all of them sort of point to that direction, and with that Magician, that energy coming towards you. This is about realizing what your part is within this, accepting that, taking responsibility for that, proactively working on that without almost becoming narcissistic with yourself, because we can do that sometimes, you know, and this is not what's happening over here. This is a very healthy flow. Good news. All right, so let's look at this this recent past, this energy that brought you to where you are, because it's always good to know what is bringing us to where we are, which is, remember, that Knight of Swords, you know. It's not really a unicorn, it's like a flying horse. It's actually quite magical. So let's see. Oh, okay, so I have two cards that came out. So Three of Swords, okay, sorry, no, sorry, Three of Pentacles, my apologies. Three of Pentacles, new start, new beginning. Then we've got a Swords energy here. Speaks about logic. So unity, logic, and just going to take from the top, inspiration. Three of Wands. So Three of Pentacles and Three of Wands with sort of logic, you know, that sorts in the middle. So this is about going forward once again, and these are technically the same card, even though both decks are very sort of like creative, you know, that Knight of Swords. What is it that needs to be done? You know, in a new start, in a new beginning. What is it about balance? How do you get, obviously with Three of Wands, how is it that you get what it is that you'd like to get? You know, so it's about realizing what you'd like to get, and then also realizing what is the work that you need to put in order to get what it is that you would like to get. So it's about taking responsibility for your life, really. Okay, so what is this that came out? And then actually there's a card at the bottom which I wasn't aware of. So Ace of Swords. Now when you get an Ace of Swords and an Ace of Wands combination in a reading, which you did because remember there is that Ace of Cups, so, Wands, Cups, that's what I mean. So Ace of Cups there for your overall energy, and then in the energy that you know, we are looking at, Ace of Swords, and as well as the Devil card. Okay, it looks a little bit naughty there. It says Stokolosh, which is like a semi-dark sort of energy that you get, you know. I'm going to draw you one more. So this is where you are at the moment. You are really beginning to get so much beautiful clarity about how it is that you might actually be holding a connection back, how you might be stalling things, you know. And of course, once we realize that, helps us to move forward. Let's see what we have. There we go. Idealistic and sorrow. And that sorrow is that Five of Cups over there. Which one is it? There we go. Beautiful. This is really, really, really getting clarity. I feel that you might have really hurt someone. It's not necessarily the person that you're with at the moment, but you might have caused a lot of pain, you know, and you're beginning to see that. And you're also realizing that it's time to sort of even those things out. So as you go forward, you can in a sense be free. Now we're going to look at that magician energy as you're going forward, because for those of you that are looking for love, you can really call it into your life. And there's 2 cards over here. I didn't realize that. So you have got the 4 of Pentacles over there, which is about balance. And then on top of that, you have got, it says romance, Page of Cups. All right. So there's a lot of water energy flowing here. 10 of Swords, letting go of that past that doesn't release you, benefit you in positive ways. And then the 7 of Cups. And then this card at the bottom want to come out here. What is it? Let me see it. There we go. 3 of Cups. So this is a beautiful flow that's actually taking place over here, and I feel that in overall energy, that in many ways the sort of delay in a situation might have actually been you. And you actually getting to a point where you're getting to see that, where you're beginning to realize that, and you're actually working at releasing that version of yourself that doesn't serve things in a positive way. So going forward, it might actually be quite amazing how quickly things can actually progress, because this is about putting in the actual work. All right. Cool. My Capricorns, I'm going to just draw you a oracle card from the Moonology deck. See what we have for you. If the reading resonates with you, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let's see what we have. And then very soon I'm going to start working on 2021 readings for you. These ones flipped around. It's 3 of them, but I'm going to take all 3. It says emotions are running high. So yeah, you know, releasing those things that don't serve you in a positive way. Just because you're doing the work doesn't mean that it's not overwhelming. So you also want to be kind to yourself. Don't forget, don't do so much work that you forget to actually be kind to yourself. Okay. Conclusions are within reach. Beautiful confirmation. And ending of the, it says balance, spirituality, and practicality. Okay. So it is about keeping things in a good, beautiful flow, in a good balanced flow, so that the abundance that you're heading towards with that magician energy, so that you are able to connect with it easily and effortlessly in a way that serves your life in abundantly beautiful ways. And so it is.